Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Sidel Stewart, and I am the founder of Remotely Onit, as well as business operations architect and virtual assistant mentor. It is great to be here for this week's episode of Raising the Bar. Today, we are talking about 5 ways that you are cheapening your brand and why you need to fix them. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're watching live, please put #live in the comments and let me know where you are in the world, where you are tuning in from. If you're watching on a replay, put #replay. Same principle, let me know where you are joining from. It's great to have your eyes and ears, so thank you for joining me. If you are not already, please do subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, that's the top bell in the right hand corner. So that's the bell in the top right hand corner. Click on that and give us a subscribe, a stroke follow, and I will definitely appreciate it. So I'm here every week. This is a lunchtime live I do for up to 30 minutes on a Monday afternoon, UK time. And today is no different. So why am I talking about ways that you are cheapening your brand? Well, really, it's a case of being online, clicking on people's links, visiting people's pages, and discovering that things don't always go as I'm expecting. And I just thought I would share for those of you who might be overlooking things. Sometimes things are so in your face, sometimes things are so in your purview that you overlook them because they're too close to see them from the wider view. And often when we're in our businesses and we're working to put things in place, once we've done something, we can then move on to the next thing without remembering to check that things work the way that we intended, or sometimes when things have expired, we forget to update them. So this is your friendly reminder to just go and check these 5 things out and make sure that they are running the way that you hope and that they are serving you and your brand well. As I said in the caption below, that it's all good being dressed to the nines, but then if you're wearing Crocs, it's not a good look, and we don't want your digital footprint to look like a pair of Crocs alongside your evening attire. So let's get into it. Okay, so number 1 is your email address does not match your domain. Now, some people will argue that this is really not that deep and it's not that important, and I beg to differ. I'm going to tell you every time that your business email address should be on your own domain, and if it isn't, you need to fix it. It should match your website address, and the way that you need to fix that is by ensuring that it's your name at yourbusinessname.com or .co.uk or .whatever domain extension you use, depending on where you are located. Why is this important? Because it helps to build credibility, it helps to build trust, it helps to build authority. It makes people know that they're dealing with a legitimate business and they're not dealing with some scammer off the internet. If you are using an alternative like hotmail.com, yahoo.co.uk.com, if you're using Gmail even, lots of people will argue that there are lots of businesses in the world where people just use their own email address on gmail.com. And I hear that. I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm saying that if you have a website and you have a domain that is in the public sphere, and people recognize that, then why would you not have a domain for your email that matches? It just doesn't make sense. And also, it just makes you look shady. Imagine you received an email from somebody at a brand that you know and love and recognize, and then when they sent you their email, the domain didn't match. You would most likely think it was a scam. You'd think that somebody's just trying to get money out of you. You would think it was shady. And there's no difference to what other people will think when they are trying to communicate with you. So, especially if you're new in business, make sure that your domain matches on your email as your web address. Okay, so number 2. You haven't taken time to effectively integrate tools with your website, please, please, please do so. This is another thing that can make you just look shoddy. It can make your brand just appear really disjointed and unorganized. And if you're unorganized and disjointed and people are planning to potentially work with you, that's not going to work in your favor. It's not going to endear people to think, oh, okay, this person's got their stuff together, they are on point, and they're going to handle my business in the same way. So you want to make sure that everything is working the way that it should. Now, what am I talking about when I talk about tools being integrated? I'm talking about things that you click on that take you elsewhere. So if you for example, if you have a shopping cart on your page, like Thrivecart, let's say you use Thrivecart or you use Samcart, or let's say you use a sales page or a landing page or one of the big tools, I'm not going to name them all. And so every time someone clicks on one of your offers, they click on those pages and it takes them to that website. You are taking that person out of your own website onto a third party site. Now, you could argue, well, what's the difference as long as the person gets to the sales page? If it's a sales page, then what's the problem? They're going to buy the offer or they're not. Well, yeah, but sometimes people need time to consider things. They want to have a look around the site. They want to know who you are. Or they want to, after they've made their purchase, still have a look around your website. When you use a third party site, then there's no room for them to be able to do that. And some marketeers might say, well, that's the whole point, just go straight to the sales page, buy what you're buying, and then that's done and dusted. But in this day and age, when people spend less than a minute on websites and the conversion is very difficult to get, you want people to have a look around and know who you are, what you're about, learn more about your business, learn more about your offers. If you have a blog, check out your blog and hang around a bit. So I would always recommend that you are embedding these pages into your website so that everything is aligned. You are, maximizing your branding. I'm sure you didn't spend all that money on branding just to have people circumnavigate it. So let people see it, let people interact with it, let people get to know it the way that people know some of these major brands around the world. You want your brand to be recognizable and based on a color, a feeling, a shape, a font, whatever it might be. People get to do that when they interact with it, when they come into contact with it on a regular basis, or when they see it and they know it and they love it and they share it. All of those things happen through people actually engaging with it and interacting with it. So don't be afraid to keep people in your digital estate, as it were. Number 3, I want to say, if you haven't taken the time to optimize the tools that you use and they are all branded with the third party apps branding, again, this is cheapening your site. It's making you look shoddy. It's giving cheap and cheerful. And if you're a premium brand or you sell high ticket, you do not want to be associated with cheap and cheerful. Like, they're two different brand ethoses. So consider, if you use a tool, I'm trying to think of a specific tool, Calendly, for example. Lots of people use Calendly. It's an amazing tool, fantastic site, integrates with all of the websites, and that's great. But what lots of people don't realize is if they're using a paid version of the site, which lots of people are, some people do use the free version, and if you do, it's not possible to remove the branding, and I completely understand that. But if you're using a paid account on any of these tools, then you want to remove the branding that says powered by Calendly or powered by ConvertKit or powered by whatever it is that it's powered by. That's all great and well, but A, that's free advertising for the tool. Why are you advertising that on your site? Unless they're paying you to and you're an affiliate, then you don't need to do that. And 2, like I said, it's just looking cheap and cheerful, and that's not the look we're going for. Brand perception matters. Your brand matters. Make it stand out in its own right and not be cheapened by a grey banner across the side of it or underneath it or wherever that banner might be. So like I say again, if you are high end, if you are luxury, if you sell high ticket, if you're selling in the 4-figure range upwards, then your brand needs to reflect that. So don't cheapen it by having all of these slogans and labels all over your stuff. Okay, number 4. If all of your brand images are stock images that you are grabbing off of free websites, then again, you are cheapening your brand, because these images are available to everybody to use. So your branding, your material, your marketing materials are not going to stand out because they're just going to blend in with everybody else's. What you really want to be doing is using your own branding, because otherwise you are subconsciously distancing people from you, and you are part and parcel of your brand. For lots of us who run solo service-based businesses, you are your brand in lots of ways, and people will often consider you your brand over your brand in its own right. And so you need to be recognizable, you need to be the face of it. People need to see the brand and see you. So how else can you do that? If you're not in a position to do a full-on brand photo shoot, that's fine. That's not imperative that you do that, but there are other ways around it. You know, grab a friend, your business bestie, make a day of it, and take each other's photos. Try and do some location shoots where you're maybe in an office setting, and you can do some specific pictures, or you can do some specific types of poses that you can use to demonstrate things that you do in your business without it looking cheesy. Even if you just set up a tripod and you use a self timer, or you use a clicker, Bluetooth clicker, to be able to take your own photos, all of that is going to be useful, viable, valuable, and it's going to help your brand look a little bit more together. I'm not saying don't use stock photos. I'm just saying mix it up a bit. Make sure that your own image is in there amongst the stock images, because otherwise you are just blending into the background like everybody else. Number 5, if you are presenting all of your offers as discounted all of the time, and there are vast differences between the before and after price, I want to say again, you are cheapening your brand. And really, on a certain level, do people really believe you? Do they think that, this price was really the price before? And if it was, there used to be a law back in the day that if you price something and you advertise at a certain price and you said it was discounted, you had to say when it was that price and where. I don't think that exists anymore, but it wasn't a bad rule, because people are out here looking like dodgy 1980s car salesmen, and that is not the vibe. That is not the look that you want for your brand. So if it is not a discount, don't say it's a discount. If it has not been, if it's not been slashed, don't say that it's been slashed. This thing of saying, oh, this price and this value, and let's say, I don't know, $500 value or £500 value, but you can have it for just £15, is not. It's not convincing. It's just giving lies. It's giving fake. It's giving shoddy. You want to have some integrity in your selling, in the way that you show up online. You want your brand to have some integrity and to feel believable. This idea of slashing everything and having, big lines through the old pricing, and now saying this is the pricing now, and then giving people ultimate bundles for, pittance compared to what it would have costed without any real reason. It's different to get a discount for a reason. It's different to get a discount because you're giving somebody a loyalty discount, or you've worked with them before, or they've asked you for a discount and you're open to negotiating on the price. That's very different. But when you're advertising stuff online and you're posting things in your marketing materials and you're slashing the price, if nobody's asked for a discount, why are you just not advertising it at that price? Why have we got to do this whole dance about how much it did cost versus how much it costs now? It's giving shady, like I said. So I just want to recap on those 5 things that you need to stop doing, because they're cheapening your brand. Number 1 was, if your email address domain does not match your web domain, then you need to sort that out. Like I said, it's giving shady. If you haven't integrated your business tools, it's time to get that done. You want all of your forms, all of your widgets, all of your third-party apps to live in your website, so people have a seamless business experience. Also, another reason why that is the case is if someone's spending money with you and they're pulling out their bank card, they want to feel assured that they're actually spending their card in the place where they think they are, and it's not shady, it's not a third-party site, it's not a phishing site, it's not going to mean their card details end up somewhere where they shouldn't. So make sure that you are embedding your checkout pages and your ways to pay within your site, so that people feel safe, they feel reassured, and they feel like they're doing business with you. Also, if your business hasn't been if your website hasn't been optimized to keep people on the site, that's something for you to look at. You want people to stay on your website as long as possible so that you can maximize their brand experience and maximize the opportunity also for conversions and engagement with your content. If you're using all brand images, if you're using all stock images for your brand instead of your own personalized brand images, then that's something that you want to fix. It's not doing you much good blending in and looking like everybody else from the images that you got from that that stock website over there, and then everybody else has got the same pictures, and you're looking on Instagram or wherever and you're seeing everybody's got the same images on their post. It's just not a great look, and you don't look unique, you don't look specialized, you don't look high end. You may not be a high end brand, but also you don't want to look like you just took that picture from somebody else's website, because some people might just think that. And if you are in discount overdrive, sort it out, get over it, let it go, and just work with intentional value-based pricing so that people don't feel hoodwinked into buying your goods and services. I hope that today's episode of Raising the Bar, 5 things that are cheapening your brand and why you should fix them, was useful. If you've got any comments, please do drop them in the chat. Like I said, if you watched live, thank you so much. It's really nice to have people here with me in real time. And if you're watching on a replay, put a #replay in the comments and let me know where you tuned in from. I will be back next week, possibly on Monday, but maybe on Tuesday because it is a UK bank holiday. So if you're watching this in real time, then that's something to be aware of. But I will keep you posted. If you're not already, like I said, please do follow. Give our YouTube channel at Remotely Onit a subscribe, and I'll see you again here sometime soon. Take care.